First question, front right.
Rick, you pointed to the turnovers last game as being the big difference, and you guys really just limited your turnovers overall. What helped you have success in that area tonight?
We played better. You know, we were in where we should be most of the time. Well, a lot more than we were in Game 5, and we were stronger with the ball. We had some that weren't great ones, but when we made a mistake, we bounced back well, and that's what you got to do this kind of time of year.
Tim, back left.
Reynolds, AP. Rick, what do you think there was a discernible lift just from Tyrese gutting it through? That, I mean, not like your guys needed to know what the stakes were tonight. Everyone knew what the stakes were, but how much was that worth, do you think, in terms of energy and all that?
Yeah, he's super important to us, and I think the big thing was there wasn't a lot of drama. The drama was created, in the press somewhat because there's a lot of talk about it. That kind of it was not coming from him. He was straightforward. He didn't want a lot of attention. He was doing everything possible to be able to play, and then, fortunately, we were able to keep his minutes reasonable. Because we had a great first half and a good start to the third quarter. So, one game. I mean, this is what it's all about. I mean, this is what you dream about growing up. This kind of opportunity. It's a very difficult place to play. We know that, but this is. The opportunity to play in a game like this is a great honor and a great privilege.
Front center.
Rick, what did you think of just your team's mental fortitude early on after missing some shots, going down early? And then also, what does T.J. McConnell give you night in and night out when it comes to just energy, effort, and just digging you all out of that hole?
Yeah, we just look, our crowd was spectacular tonight. I mean, this is the loudest I've ever heard Gainbridge. Or Conseco. It was never Bankers Life when I was here, but the crowd was absolutely tremendous. And, we're playing the best team on the planet. I mean, they have proven that in the entire year. And we have got to play at such a high level for us to have a chance. And so we did better tonight. TJ's a big part of what we do. But, everybody was tied together, and that's how it's got to be. And, from the standpoint of rebounding, we did better. We did better with the turnover count, and all that stuff's going to get tougher on Sunday.
Right in the center.
Rick, what did you see defensively when, the offense kind of got on track when you flipped that early deficit? But what changed defensively to kind of bog them down, especially in that first quarter, start of second quarter run?
Just trying to make it hard. And literally, the events that lead up to one final game obviously matter. But at this point, any talk about things in the past really meaningless. It's one game, and it's the ultimate game.
David, up front.
Rick, you've spent most of your adult life in pursuit of trying to win a championship, and you've had some success in that. But most people don't. And I just wonder do you think that people who aren't involved in this directly understand how incredibly difficult it is, no matter who you are or how talented you are, to win an NBA championship?
Well, I believe that everybody coaching in the NBA has a very good idea, because Chuck Daly once said, if people had any idea how difficult it was to win one game in the NBA in the regular season, one game, they would be shocked. There are so many things coming at you, and you're swimming upstream. You're going against great coaching. You're going against high level players and guys that go hard and are super skilled and all that kind of stuff. So, this time of year, not everybody's been deep into the playoffs or to the finals, but I guarantee you that people the people have a very good idea, what goes on and how difficult it is to get here and how challenging it is. I do believe that.
Ramona on the left.
Hi. Rick over here. Ramona Shelburne, ESPN. A lot of us are probably writing about resilience tonight. You guys have all these comebacks throughout the playoffs. You obviously back against the wall tonight and have a game like this. Is some of that just because maybe a lot of the guys on the team have been traded or this wasn't their first stop? I know you've had a couple of stops in your career. Is it because they've gone through some of that as shared experience, or is this sort of unique to this group?
Honestly, I'm not into reminiscing right now. All that stuff's over with. Some great things happened for us, and our team made some great things happen. Same thing with Oklahoma City, to get to this point, to get to one ultimate game, and that's all that matters, So this is a wonderful group of players. I mean, in terms of character, I've had some great character teams. None better than this. Maybe some equal, but these guys are fabulous, and they try so hard for each other. But it's getting back on the plane at 3:00 tomorrow. I have a team dinner tomorrow night. Another session with you guys, whatever day that is, Saturday, and then Sunday we'll be here even sooner because I believe it's a 7:00 local game, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's where it's at.
Scott on the right.
Scott Agnes, Fieldhouse Files. Rick, I'm curious, what stood out to you about your team's ball pressure and the way in which, by not pressuring full court with Andrew, you kind of unlocked his probably most complete game that we've seen in this series?
We had to play better, and we played better. It's as simple as that. I mean, I thought our crowd had a lot of influence on what was going on out there. When a building is this noisy and raucous, it makes it hard on the opposing team. And, we're grateful for them.
Last question, second row right in front.
Valencia King, Real Talk Sports. Rick, we talk a lot about staying ready and being present in the moment, but as a coach, how do you balance letting the guys feel their emotions but also keeping them present?
Yeah, I mean, it's a deep question. But, I believe that every NBA coach does a lot of talking about process and, the things necessary to have individual players contribute to a system. I'm sure Mark talks about it with his team, and that's what I'm pretty sure all of us preach. And, at this time of year, you've got to be able to block out a lot of things and avoid the distractions that are coming at you all the time. So over the next couple of days, we'll do what's necessary to try to get ourselves ready for that environment and that team. And it's this will be a monumental challenge.
Thank you, Coach.